just moving through spring training. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Phillies Sets, a video cast return recap this afternoon's spring training game between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Detroit Tigers as the Phillies lose 4-1 to the Tigers as Ivan Noda started this game for the Phils. He was not very good in this one. Now, guys, before you get into this video, please subscribe if you haven't done yet. Please turn on the notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into this. So we have a lot of news to cover in this video, not just about this game, but some other news. I mean, with Mickey Moniak, and we have to talk about Jeff Mathis. So we have a lot of news to cover in this video. Let's get just straight into it. The Phillies lose 4-1 to the Tigers today. As I said before, you can't really look too much into these spring training games, but not the best performance. Even though started this game for the Phillies, he was not very good. Hasn't had the best spring training, and I think when we signed this guy, we signed him to a minor league contract. We didn't ever expect him to be very good. But this spring has not been too kind to him. He started the first game of spring training at the Detroit Tigers, got completely blown out of that game. I think it was like a 10-2 loss, but he just did not have it this afternoon. We could not watch it on the TV, of course, because they don't want to televise road games for some apparent reason. We got to watch the Phils tomorrow night. Finally, it's the first time since Sunday we could watch Phillies baseball on television. What is this, 1992? I mean, where are we living in right now? I mean, oh my goodness gracious. But it is pretty nice to, see some Phillies baseball again tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. But I mean, pretty much this is just a boring game. This is an away game because the Detroit Tigers at the end of spring training. Like, this game has no meaning to it. It's a 4-1 loss. Like, this is not a very exciting game. It's just not a very exciting game. Pick up the scoring summary. Bottom of the first inning, Will Castro singles on a sharp ground ball to left field. Jennifer Caniso scores, and it's now 1-0 Detroit. They had a fast start against Ivan Nova, who started this game for the Phillies. He just didn't look good. He just wasn't executing his pitches well. He just didn't look. He's just old. Like, he just did not look good. He's at this point in his career now. He's just not good. Like, he's just not. He's washed up. He's not like that guy he was with the Yankees. He's just not good. This is not the 2013 Ivan Nova or something like that, right? This is a washed up Ivan Nova at the end of his career. He's just hanging on by a limb. And as the Phils tied up in the top of the second inning, Luke Williams, my man Luke, he singles on a line drive to center field. Odubel Herrera scores, and the Phillies tied at 1. We'll get to Odubel in a second. He's been slumping, and it might come back to bite him. But Luke Williams, I mean, this guy's going to be probably a bench bat for the Phillies in a couple of years. I do believe that. I do think that he has somewhat of a future on this Phillies team. I think that I love Luke Williams. I really would do. And not just because his name's Luke. You got to put that aside. I mean, if this guy was going out there, 0 for 3 strikeouts, I'd be like, this guy's terrible. I just like the way he plays the game. I just do. He's doing well. He's doing pretty well, and it's not like he's hitting 300, but he's doing fine. He's doing just fine. He's not hitting 100. It's not like he's really slumping. I mean, he's not setting the world on fire. It's not like he's hitting over 300 or something like that. But I just like what I've seen out of Luke Williams so far this spring. I really have, and I'm sure he's pretty disappointed it's going to be coming to an end pretty soon. Bottom of the third inning. This was again off of Villanova. Robbie Grossman overs on a fly ball to right center field as the Tigers get their lead back. It's now a 2-1 ball game. So Ivan Nova just serving up some cookies there this start. And he hasn't really had one good start of spring training. He just hasn't. He hasn't looked good all spring. And I think when we signed this guy, it's kind of like, all right, well, we kind of know he's at the end of his career. We're just going to take a chance on this guy. And it hasn't worked out. And it's a low risk, high reward. And if it would have worked out, it would have been great. And it didn't. It just didn't. And that's perfectly fine. And we move on. And in the same inning, the Tigers legend Hall of Fame first baseman, he's going to be Hall of Famer, Miguel Cabrera, he singles on a sharp ground ball to left field. Justin Mercanito scores, and it's now a 3-1 Tigers lead as they extend their lead. Miguel Cabrera, at the end of his career with all these injuries and all things like that, and the Tigers not going to be making a playoff push anytime soon. Miguel Cabrera trying to make a push for 500 runs. He might get there. Hopefully he will. The injuries are just so bad for Miggy. It's really just a shame. A 3-1 Tigers lead. And then about the sixth inning, old friend, Wilson Ramos. He doubles on a sharp ground ball to left field. Zach Short scores. And it's now a 4-1 Tigers lead. I'm shocked that the Buffalo could even get to second base, man. This guy is a diesel tanker. We saw him when he was with the Phils for his brief stint in 2018, the latter half of 2018, and we saw it for 2 years when he was with the New York Mets. 2019 and 2020. He leaves in free agency. He's now going to be the starting catcher for the Detroit Tigers in the 2021 season. Best of luck to Wilson Ramos in Detroit. I do like Wilson Ramos. I think he's a good guy. And I never forget that story. In Venezuela, Wilson Ramos was kidnapped, and he could have died. I mean, it's a horrific story what happened to Wilson Ramos. I'll never forget that. I mean, that was just insane, and luckily he made it out alive. That was a pretty sad story. But I like Wilson Ramos. I liked him when he was here. It was time for him to go. Now we got the BCI-BJT. But Wilson Ramos doing some damage against his former squad today with that RBI double. As Adam Hazley, he proved me wrong. I mean, he beat all the odds. I did not think he'd be ready for opening day. And let alone he plays in this game after having that groin shot. I thought he was going to be out like 3 weeks. Like we heard like 2 weeks ago, out for 3 weeks. And now 2 weeks later, he's back. So I don't know what that's all about. And a lot of people are saying like, oh, if you don't want the Phillies to, if you want the Phillies to win baseball games, you don't want Adam Hazley in your starting lineup. I think Adam Hazley could be pretty decent. I really do. But he's just like, he can't stay healthy. That's the thing that really scares me. He needs to show a long stint of staying healthy to prove to me. And Scott Kringer, a 139 batting average in spring training. And yes, you can't scrutinize spring training stats. I completely understand. But when you hit 140 the year prior, and he even struggled in the 2020 spring training, I mean, everyone uses the virus, right? That's the virus, right? It's the virus. That's the reason why Scott Kringer struggled in 2020, because he had the virus, and that's the excuse, right? I call it the excuse. That's the excuse that was used as a scapegoat for Scott Kringer. That was the scapegoat. The virus, he had the virus. So that's why he didn't do well in 20. Well, now we get to 21, and the same issues. Yes, I know. It's spring training. How many times am I going to repeat that? Every time I have to criticize somebody, I always have to stop and say, well, it's spring training. It's spring training. Well, eventually I won't have to do that anymore. Thank God. Because I'm so sick and tired of those words coming out of my mouth. But I'm tired of giving excuses for Scott Kringer. I really, really like Scott Kringer. I love this guy. But I'm tired of advocating for him because you know what? He's just not there anymore. He's just not there. He just hasn't looked good. He looks really, really bad at the plate. And I know he got a knock today, but a 139 batting average. That is just horrendous. And yes, it's not a big a deal if you hit 270 year before. He hit 140 last year, ladies and gentlemen. That's really alarming. And he even did terrible in the brief 2020 spring training, which you can't really look too much into that. That could have been a coincidence. But Scott Kingery, I mean, he might not even make the team, and he might not. There's a good chance. I know he has a minor league option. I saw that. He has a minor league option. They might send him down to start the season AAA. Then get his feet wet. Get ready for the season. Because you know what? It's just like he's just not there. He's just not there. I know he's better than that, man. I know he's better than that. I know he can play better baseball than that. We know he's a better baseball player than that. Yeah, we just know that. I understand everyone goes through ups and downs, but guys going through a little down period. And Matt Joyce, the guy who was setting it on fire, another 0 for 4 today. A little bit of a midst of a slump. I still think he's got that bench spot solidified, but Andrew Knapp, a guy that he's kind of cooled off. I understand he got a knock today, batting below that dreaded Mendoza line. He went into spring training. I mean, first week of spring training, he was lighting it up. He's kind of fell off a little bit. Odubel Herrera, a 225 batting average. This guy was the front runner for the Phillies center field job. And I read an article this morning that said Roman Quinn. They think that Roman Quinn has now taken the lead. Yes, taken the lead over Odubel Herrera. Now, can we talk about the strikeouts here for a second? The Roman Quinn strikeout rate is insane. It is insanely terrible. It's insanely terrible. And Roman Quinn, I'm not on the Roman Quinn train. I've never been a big fan. I like him coming off the bench as a pinch runner. His defense scares me sometimes. Some of the Buddha just diving for a ball, it goes way past him, and a guy hits it inside the. I'll never forget that. As long as the August Baltimore Orioles, remember last year when a guy had a line drive to center field, dove for it, goes all the way to the wall, inside the park, home run. Hurry up the Oregon music on that one because there was some pretty bad defense in that play. I mean, they teach you in Little League, right? They keep the ball in front of you. I mean, clearly he didn't attend those Little League practices when he was younger because they tell you to get the ball in front of you. I remember when I was in Little League, they always used to say that to me. Of course, I'm not a professional baseball player. I wouldn't really know how it is at that level, but I assume they say the same thing. But I'm not really a big fan of Roman Quinn. He's not starter material. He's just not. And there's been a lot of buzz around him even when he first came out in 2016. A lot of buzz around Roman Quinn. And he just hasn't really lived out. He's not really starter material. He's just not. And might I add that he also has some health issues. Do we forget that? In 2019, battled a little injury. So he also has some health issues. And this guy, offensively, the play has been pretty bad the past couple of years. In 2019, not great. 2020 wasn't real kind to him. So offensively, too, I mean, the numbers just aren't really there. And with Adam Hazley, this guy can't stay on the field. He just can't. He's hurt. Every 2 seconds, walking down the street, oh, he's hurt. I mean, this guy, if he touches something, he gets hurt. I mean, this guy is so fragile. He's like a piece of glass he can't touch on the shelf. I mean, you can't touch him because he's just going to fall off and break. I mean, he's just so fragile. It's like the box you can't move, right? Because you're afraid it's going to damage it, right? I mean, this is Adam Hazley. He's so fragile. I just can't stand it. I mean, the guy's so young, too. You know, it's not like the guy's, his upper 30s, he's having injuries. I mean, give me a break. My man, Jared Cole, with another 2-hit day. Great job. But getting back to O'Toole, I want to add one more. I think it's an open race. I don't think that I don't think a guy has been chosen yet. Joe Girardi said later in spring training, later in the week, this week. So tomorrow's Thursday. I assume his decision is coming soon. It might go down to the very end wire. I think it'd be maybe a Monday, last game in spring training. Could we see it? Because no one has really taken the bull by the horn. I know that's to do with his nickname, El Torito. The little bull. I'm just using this as figure of speech, but no one's really taking the bull by the horn to really, solidify that center field job. Adam Hazley's, had that injury. Roman Quinn, with the ranking up the strikeouts, not starting with two, and now Odubel Herrera now in the midst of his slump. He got a knock today, but, I mean, no one really has, stepped up and really solidified that job yet. No one has really solidified. My man Luke Williams, as I said, driving in the only Phillies run with that RBI single. Other than that, not much noise out of the Phillies offense today. Of course, we did not get to see Bryce and JT or Reese. We did get to see Alec Boehm went hitless in this game. As you take a look at Ivan Nova's start, 5 innings, 10 hits. 10 hits against the Detroit Tigers. 4 runs, all 4 earned, only 1 K, and he didn't walk a batter, which is pretty astonishing. He's now 0-2 on the year, and this Phillies bullpen has just been unbelievable. I mean, you have to see George Romero, Hector Rondon, Sam Conrad. I just think the irony, and all 4 runs today were given up by Ivan Nova, who allowed 10 hits, as I said. Pretty treacherous. I mean, that is just pretty terrible. 10 hits. 10. It was the circus music. I mean, this guy has had a pretty awful spring. He's 7.30 ERA. He has just not been there this spring, but I tell you what, I mean, this bullpen looks scary good. Scary good. And even Hector Rondon, he's starting to pitch better. He kind of had a few bad appearances out of the pen. He's starting to look better. So this Phillies bullpen, I give it a high grade, man. This has been great. This has been great. So let's talk a little about some other news. Jeff Mathis this morning went to the Phillies. And after JT Muto's return, I think we all knew that this was a possibility. I think we all remember last year with Josh Harrison, did the same thing. He requested a release from the Phillies. And the Phillies granted it, and they released him, and he's now officially a free agent. So Jeff Mathis no longer a Philly. He's now a free agent once again. And I'd like to thank Jeff Mathis for a good spring training. I think he did pretty well. I know this kind of sounds corny because he only played here during spring training. It kind of sounds weird that I'm thanking him. It wasn't like this guy had a 5-year career or something like that, or even a 1-year career. I would like to thank, because I could tell, I think he was well liked by the clubhouse. I mean, I really do. I think that this guy, George always talking about, he said, I see this guy's a future manager. This guy's a good leader in the clubhouse. He really is. And I think that maybe he took the young guys, bull by the horn. I think he really took them under, his wing and, got to know them really well. So I think he's a silent, voice in that clubhouse. So I'd like to thank him for a good spring training. This guy's not been good his whole career. This guy's just a leader. A lot of people like him for the leadership. As Joe Girardi said, possibly a future manager. As Joe Girardi said. So Jeff Mathis, no longer a Philly. And Mickey Moniak, also reassigned to minor league camp, and I get it. I mean, the Why Not Mick train started by the friend of the pod, Jack Fritz. Sorry, Jack. I know you're really pushing hard for that, but I'm sorry that your hopes and dreams were crushed about that. But guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. Please turn on the notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Check out the social media link in the description section. And Phillies Stats on Instagram, TikTok, financial Instagram, call or text 267-225-5092. Email me, phillystats@gmail.com. We're getting there at the end of spring training. Tomorrow, 6:05, the first pitch at Baker Ballpark. New York Yankees, king on the mound for the Yanks, 2-1 with a 3.46 ERA. Going against Matt Moore, 2-1 with a 2.25 ERA. Let's go Phillies, 6:05, the first pitch, game on TV. I'm Luke, and I'll talk to you later. Let's go Phillies. I'll see you again.